Good morning, family. Good morning. It is Friday, and I am finally coming from the sunburn stage to the having a tan stage from being in Cancun, guys. But today, this morning, this TGIF, we are talking about motivation. Mainly the motivation to it's I think it's easier for people to be motivated to tell their story than it is for them to be motivated to complete their story. A lot of people start to write and they don't complete it. So today we're talking about the motivation. Okay, how to tell your story to completion, why that's important, and some tips to get you through. Okay, so the first thing, early on in this training, and if you want to follow the other trainings, all you have to do is search for the hashtag tell your naked story, or is it hashtag your naked story? I'm sorry. And you will see the other trainings. But one of the other trainings was all about know your why. Okay? It's important to know your why to streamline and focus what you're writing, but it's also important to know your why for motivation. Okay? In fact, I am a fan. I am a huge fan, and I suggest for you to do this, of affirmations. Okay? If you write your why down and post it where you write, you can make it the background on your phone. You can make your why, if you can find a simple phrase, you can make your why your password to certain things so that you're always thinking about your why, right? So that keeps you going. It keeps you going. When you see your why, it's hard not to complete the task. When you know what you're doing, who you're doing it for, why you're doing it, you're motivated to complete it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Make an affirmation out of your why. The second thing is find ways to remind yourself of your why when you're away from your writing space. Okay, when you're away from that sticky note that has your affirmation on it, find other ways to incorporate your why into your day. Like I said, you can do like a meme and put it as the background on your phone, on your tablet. You can make it the background on your computer at work. You can make it your password if you can find a small enough phrase to represent your why. It's very important that your why is something that actually motivates you. Okay? So that motivation will keep you going. What's something else that can keep you going? Well, your why is not the only thing that motivates you. So think about what else in life motivates you. For me, I love TED Talks. TED Talks are motivating. They're inspirational to me. I love things like Oprah's Soulful Sunday or Soul Sunday sessions. I love that. I love inspirational music, whether it be gospel music or just something inspirational. I love that. Surround yourself, okay? Infuse inspiration as often as possible. When you stay inspired, you stay in the frame of mind to complete your work, to complete your task. So those are some other things you can do to stay motivated and stay inspired, okay? Lastly, but not really last, it's almost like saving the best for last. A great way to stay motivated is to think about the people you will help with your story. That should actually be a part of your why, but it's a more general why, to help someone. Think about the people who are waiting on you to tell the story in a way that touches them and changes their life. Your story, the purpose of you telling your story, the overall purpose of you telling your story and putting it in a book is to help others. So think about who's waiting on your story. How much longer are you going to make them wait? They're waiting on you to give them some answers, to give them something that lets them know that they're not alone. How long will you allow them to wait? If that's not motivational to get your book complete, to write to completion, I don't know what is. I don't quite know why you're writing the book if that's not going to help you to get to the finish line. Okay? Come out of yourself. Come out of yourself in the, oh, I'm busy every day. Come out of yourself in the, I'm not good enough. Okay? Come out of yourself in the, I'm not the first person this has happened to. All of your doubt. Come out of yourself and go into who needs you. That is the key. Go into who needs you, who's waiting on this information in the story the way that you tell it, Who's waiting on it? Whose life is being held up from change because you haven't found the time to write? Because you haven't completed the story. So allow that to really just permeate and get in you and inspire you. Okay? Another thing that I want to talk about today is a call to action. Especially if you have a business, your book should end with a call to action. Whether that call to action is to call you and set up a session, whether that call to action is to buy the next book in the series, something that tells your people what to do next, how to contact you and tell you how the book was for them, or do they have a testimony to tell you about it. If you don't have a business, it could be, the call to action can be to start healing today. Something like that. Go and do the steps that I have shown you in this book to create a new life. That is a call to action also. So, motivation, inspiration, call to action. So, isn't that a great way to end the week, right? So we haven't ended this series yet. We actually have a wrap-up session on Monday morning, and it'll be our last video training within this series, the Your Naked Story, hashtag Your Naked Story series. If you need something else to do to kind of get you ready to write your story, general trainings on what you need to have and do before you start writing, look for the hashtag before you write. Okay, so there's a whole complete month of training under that. This month, the month of love, it was love through sharing your story. And so we talked about tips and tools specifically about telling your story, how to be transparent, tell your personal story, the things that you need to consider. Okay, so we'll wrap that up on Monday. Okay, and like I've told you guys, 2017 is the year we're going to write the story, right? 2017, you're going to get your story out of you and to the people who need it. So our next step, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to write. Okay, so I'm asking you guys to join me. I have a book. It came to me, I would say toward the end of last year. When I was in Cancun, you know, the structure of it, some brainstorming really hit me. And then this week, I actually came up with the idea to offer you guys the unique opportunity to write your book as I write my book. And so I'm going to have a book boot camp, So you know, in boot camps, you work hard, but you get results, right? So if you work hard and you do what I do as I do it and as I teach you, when I have my book ready, you'll have your book ready. Okay, it's going to take us about a month. We're going to start March the 26th, and we're going to take all of April, the month of April, to write our book. We're going to tell our story. Okay, it's time for the story to be told, and now it's time to get the work done. So what better way for me to hold you accountable and help you to get your story out than you to write your book while I'm writing my book. Okay, so there are going to be weekly activities. We're going to have fun. There's going to be accountability. We're going to have private critiques of what you've written as you write it. And so this is great opportunity. In fact, I have a great introductory price in mind for it. So you guys, I'm going to tell you way more about it on Monday, but get ready to invest in yourself. It's time. It's time. Get ready to invest in telling your story because we're about to get started. So I'm going to give you all of March to the end of March to register for this opportunity, this book boot camp. And we're going to get started writing. And by the end of April, if you have followed everything, you should have a book. You should have a book. And so if you're ready for this, get ready to invest in this opportunity. And I'm going to tell you more about that on Monday. Monday, we'll talk all about it. Okay. I'll have everything ready for you guys to register. All good things going on. I've kind of started the process. I've not completed the process since I just started. I thought about it this week, right? So I've created it this week, but Monday I'll be ready to give you all details, including the schedule. I'm going to tell you how to register. I'm going to tell you the cost. I'm going to tell you the schedule, okay? I'm going to tell you more about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. I'm going to tell you all of that on Monday about the book boot camp. So get ready. I told you in 2017 we're writing. It's time to write. It's time out for talking about it. It's time out for getting ready for it and getting resources for it. I've given you all kinds of training. I've given you all kinds of inspiration and motivation. And so now it's time to do. It's time to execute. Okay, guys? So join me Monday for the wrap up of Tell Your Naked Story, hashtag Your Naked Story. If you're just joining me, if you don't know who I am, first of all, I'm Shay Cannon of Shay Cannon Publishing, and I help go-getter experts to write and publish their first book. And I do that by supporting and coaching them through the writing process and by providing Amazon bestseller self-publication services. So, now that you know who I am and what I do, I want you to join me on Monday to wrap up this training and to get more information on the next step, because we're writing. It's time. We're writing now. Okay? All right, guys. Have a great Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. TGIF. And like I always end all of our trainings and all of our interactions, keep learning and keep living, because life is content. Okay, guys. Happy Friday.